No matter how long we've been practicing meditation, it's very helpful to remember to return to the basics. The basics are as helpful for people who have been meditating for a long time as they are for beginners. In a sense, you could say that an effective meditation practice is where we enter into it as a beginner each time. So just notice how that invitation shifts your perspective and even your awareness. When we enter in and there's a sense of, I've done this before, it really closes off our curiosity. And one way to enter into meditation is to ask the question, what is actually happening in this moment? Well, for one thing, many of us will notice that the mind is quite active and perhaps it's got some residual thoughts from where we've just come from or where we need to go to, or maybe completely unrelated. So we can recognize the state of the mind right now, and this can be included in what is actually happening. But the important distinction is noticing the state of the mind and even perhaps the contents of the mind without believing them. So thoughts are happening, but we don't know if they are actually true. And so we hold them very, very, very lightly. We also know that we're sitting here on this chair. We know how that feels. We can feel the edge of our body encountering the edge of the chair, and beneath that, the solidity of the ground. We can feel that in our now, in this moment. We might feel the pull of gravity on the rest of the body as well. So what's actually happening is a moment-to-moment awareness without add-ons, without interpretation. You're noticing that breath is moving in and out. And of course, it has been for a long, long time, depending on how old you are. But again, the mind can grasp onto that and think it knows the breath. But what's actually happening brings us closer in, it increases the resolution. How does the breath feel in this moment? And you may notice that it's long, or that it's short, that it's full, that it's restricted, quick or slow. And that's what's actually happening. No need to know why, no need to change it. And as you begin to shine the light of awareness on the body, on the breath, many details will come into the center stage. It's like when the light goes on, that which wants to be seen and acknowledged draws to the center. And it happens all by itself. So you may notice certain tensions in areas of the body. And this too is what is actually happening. It's an expression of our sensory body feeling like tension or heaviness or lightness, cold or warmth. And just stay with what you actually know. Really be vigilant about the mind coming in from the back door, from the windows, and now including or adding its interpretation. You may notice areas that feel like stress, or that you can actually label with an emotion. So notice where that lives in your body, what it feels like, and experience it just really fresh, without referring to past or future. Gradually developing a greater and greater friendliness to your now as it is. You may notice an overall sense of resistance. too can be included. Impatience or peace. Whatever it is that rises up into the center of your field, the one that comes up into consciousness, is the one that we bow to, and you are welcome here too. But there's spaciousness around it. We don't contract around an idea. Or if we do, we give that spaciousness as well. We let the mind rest from meaning making. So that we can experience our moment just as it is. You may begin to detect that there are essentially two things happening here. One is the ever-changing details of thought and sensation and emotion, energy, senses registering. And the other is the unchanging, untouched light of presence in which it's all unfolding. And the two coexist. The less we engage with the details, the more perceivable the sense of presence and spaciousness becomes. And we begin to orient towards resting in that as we become just perceivers of the comings and going. And in doing this, we're telling ourselves the truth. We don't actually know that that which is arising, that which is here, doesn't belong to our moment. There's no need to micromanage all of these details. In fact, they take care of themselves much better when we get out of the way. And a meditation practice is an opportunity to exactly that, to practice. Resting back as presence, letting the details take care of themselves. In order to grow a greater sense of peace and possibility outside of the actual meditation practice. And so for the remainder of the meditation, I invite you to rest as presence as we collectively continue to completely let go of control of the comings and going of the physical life.